You're the life, you're the life.
Many hands reach out to St. George's and are still reaching out to those frightened, foolish men of Pretoria. We still scream and shout. We came together in song to steady the horn of America. But the Papa Law come and the baby Law go, and still we don't seem to care. No, no. Haiti, I'm sorry. We misunderstood you, but one day we turn our heads and look inside you. Haiti, I'm sorry. Hey, Haiti, I'm sorry. One day we turn our heads and restore your glory. When there is anguish in Port-au-Prince, it's still Africa crying. We're routing fires in faraway places when our neighbors are just burning. They say the middle passage is gone, so how come overcrowded boats still haunt our lives? I refuse to believe that we good people would forever turn our hearts and our eyes away. Haiti, I'm sorry. We misunderstood you. One day we turn our heads and look inside you. Haiti, I'm sorry. Oh, Haiti, I'm sorry. Oh, oh, oh. One day we turn our heads and restore your glory. Haiti, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. For so long, we've looked away, turned our eyes around. Haiti, I'm sorry. Sorry. Haiti, I'm sorry. We misunderstood you. But one day we turn our heads, and look inside you. Haiti, I'm sorry. Oh, Haiti, I'm sorry. One day we turn our
Sons of the man David Rudder. Haiti, I'm sorry. And this track comes to you this morning. I'm DJ Marisha, coming to you live and direct from my bunker here in the Republic of St. Paul, St. Kitts, in the early hours of the morning here on Friday, 9th January 2026. My good people, I could understand that you're surprised to see the DJ online early this morning. I myself, when I went to bed last night, had no intention of being here. But with the overwhelming amount of calls that are coming in, apologizing to me and thanking me for the continued awareness that I have brought to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, both home here in St. Kitts, Nevis, locally, regionally, and internationally. My good people, we are no longer at a crossroad. We are basically on the edge of the cliff. Our Dr. Drilled Labor administration, believe it or not, if we don't pull them back. If we don't pull them back from the brink of destruction, my good people, as I've said time and time again, and like I said on Wednesday evening, many of you here locally that think that you're doing well because you have your properties, you have your business, you have whatever, and all is well. We'll soon find out that that's not going to be nothing to you. Those of you in the diaspora, whether within the region or the international scene, that think that you can come back into this country freely and enjoy our little sanctuary here in St. Kitts and Nevis, that time is approaching to a very speedy end. Some months back, when I came here, presenting the fallout between myself and Prime Minister Joe, and the stance that I had to take to protect our beloved federation. As I said, it's all about country for this DJ, and by extension, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. But for this Dr. Joe-led Labor administration continues to be corruption. It continued to be survival for the Labour Party and their henchmen at whatever cost, as we can see. They have sold out Federation. I have been speaking about these things for months. And my good people, without any further long drawn out conversation, let me get straight to the reason why I'm here this morning. On Wednesday evening past, I played a clip coming from the Prime Minister of Dominica speaking about the realities that Dominica will now be accepting third world refugees. And I said that this is nothing unique to Dominica or Antigua. St. Kitts Nevis has been part of those conversations as well. But for whatever reason, Prime Minister Joe and his team continues to lie to the people, mislead the people, not bringing information, not being forthright. I spoke about decision being made out there without the consultation of our citizens, whether here, locally, regionally, internationally. And I am of the view that when these kind of decisions are being made, you must first have consultation with the citizens and let them know the why, where, and how. Well, the DJ knows the why, where, and how we arrive at where we are. Some months back in 2025, you guys would have heard Prime Minister Joe reading a WhatsApp message saying somebody trying to shake him down for whatever. At that point, I did read the full context of our conversation. And I'm going to read it again this morning. I'm going to read the full context of that conversation with Dr. Joe, because I want to remind the people where we're coming from. What happened in the dark come to light. I was made aware of a documentary that was about to hit the public domain. I was told it was damaging. I spoke to the Prime Minister about the situation in front of the AG. The AG tried to play it off and say that people make documentary all the time. That ain't a big deal. But I, along with other citizens of our beloved federation, had the interest of the country at heart. had the interest of the Federation at heart, and we decided we want to see this documentary. So a few of us went and looked at this documentary. And like I said, it was damaging with the information that was in that documentary. Several of our leaders, past and present leaders, is captured in that documentary. In regards to our CBI and the shortcomings of the CBI, the matter of the MSR Media, aka Philip Martinez, and the investment there at the OTI, now MSR Hotel, and the fallout between Prime Minister Joe and the MSR team. I have made it clear previously, and I will reiterate that. Dr. Joe, before it gets to this point where the country is going to be in a mess, where the citizens have to pay a price, if you're not going to allow the MSR team to recoup their investment, give them back their money, take back the hotel. Let the government purchase this hotel, give it to the college, whatever you want to do, make it into public offices, whatever, but give the people back their money, because this thing is not going to end well. And when the shit hit the fan, instead of our prime minister be the man as I told him to be and go to the country and tell them the truth, they started with their AI, trying to discredit individuals who was trying to help, tried to discredit the DJ, a whole team of people who I have helped over the years in North America, joined the bandwagon, trying to mess with the DJ. And, you know, if it was not so serious, it would be laughable, because when I see some of the phone calls that are coming in from some of them who was out there lambasting my ass on social media just a few months ago, I decided this morning, this particular phone call I have to take, because it's someone that I have watched grown from high school to college to university, and I know that person is a very educated person and also sensible. So when I was being attacked on social media by this individual, I couldn't understand it. But I took that phone call this morning while I was setting up to come live, and I listened to the conversation. And I told that individual, I said, you know, my better judgment would have been not to take this phone call. But you know why I took this phone call? Because as I said on previous podcasts, that I cannot take it personal for those of you who are out there attacking me, because you guys do not know what I know. You do not know the facts. So you are just reacting to an individual that you all respect as someone in authority, like a prime minister, that you don't know to be just a crook, a simple crook. Simple. And that individual responded and said, DJ, you're correct. I should have never doubted you. I have known you much longer than I knew the prime minister. I know you better than I know the prime minister. And after looking at the prime minister yesterday presenting the lies, nothing adds up. Nothing adds up. So, my good people, I'm not here to stay long this morning. I just want to deal directly with the situation at hand. So let's take a listen, a clip of what the Prime Minister presented and dropped on the people of St. Kitts and Nevis yesterday at his square table.
So St. Kitts and Nevis has negotiated and entered into a memorandum of understanding with the United States of America for the potential transfer of certain third country nationals. And I want us to listen carefully, who are citizens or nationals of the Caribbean community. This does not involve anybody outside of CARICOM. And this is in keeping with our CARICOM principle. And I will further say that because of security matters it does not include Haiti at this particular time. It does not involve anybody from any other place outside of the CARICOM region. Under the arrangement, the United States may propose transfers of CARICOM nationals. This is what St. Kitts and Nevis has negotiated, without violent or sexual criminal backgrounds. The MOU contemplates jointly develop operational procedures, including capacity-based limits and logistical arrangements. So in St. Kitts and Nevis's negotiations, through our proactive diplomacy, this only contemplates CARICOM citizens. At this time, for security reasons, excluding Haiti. These CARICOM nationals, they are without violent or sexual criminal backgrounds. I think there might be different discussions with other jurisdictions, but in St. Kitts and Nevis, the CARICOM nationals, excluding Haiti at this time for obvious security matters. And thirdly, these persons cannot be violent or sexual criminals, and it has to be agreed to between our partner, the United States of America, and St. Kitts and Nevis. We are a CARICOM country. CARICOM citizens can come to St. Kitts and Nevis, and all CARICOM countries, I think, have agreed to receive their people. So it means, therefore, that this arrangement of, I would call, collaboration really is a scenario that is in keeping with our CARICOM principles.
I think.
My good people, you heard that for yourself. And if this thing wasn't so serious, it would be laughable. The Prime Minister knows he's lying to the Federation. The Prime Minister knows that he's lying to the world. What I am more concerned about, though, is our people of St. Kitts and Nevis, who, for whatever reason, see it fit to defend this nonsense. Just a few days ago, back on 3rd January, when the United States extracted Maduro and his wife from Venezuela, we heard the big talk about sovereignty. And each country has leaders, and each country is entitled to this, and each country is entitled to that. I want your labor rights, your detractors, your scholars of labor, the AG, the DPP, the Prime Minister, the Sam Kanda, the Dwyer Astafans, the Dr. Martins, the Big JL, the Governor General. I want all your big scholars, General Tracy Mason, all of you, the man there, my partner there, the man, EK, and all of you, who always on social media defending shit that Labour is doing. I want you all to explain this to me. Just explain to me. If the US choose to deport whether criminals are refugees from these CARICOM member state or islands, why does St. Kitts Nevis Prime Minister, why do St. Kitts Nevis Prime Minister have to accept those refugees, deportees, criminals, whatever they want to call it, that belongs to other CARICOM country in our bill of St. Kitts and Nevis? Why this MOU? Did you have the answer, you know? I've been on this for months. I must say years, come to think of it, because this government been in there for some 3 going on 4 years. And I've been speaking about this for the period. All of this is tied to the CBI. and many other things. The reality is that when you guys heard me saying some months back, especially back in November of 2024, that by December of 2025, we're going to be getting some wake-up calls. And many of you on the thread that is backers of this red team and this prime minister without having the facts. You all say that I chatting shit, nothing gonna happen, and all of this good stuff. A body there in the New Haven area by way of Nevis, Mr. Desmond Claxton, aka the King Chubby, and his chubby friend over there in Florida, been attacking me indirectly and directly on social media on a daily basis, speaking about nothing is happening, what's to come. What I would like to say to Mr. Desmond Claxton this morning, the King Chubby, and his chubby friend there in Florida, they know who they are, that the reason why nothing happened in December of 2025 is because of these negotiations that have been ongoing. These criminals that we have in St. Kitts Nevis that we elect to represent us, they know their fate would have been just as Maduro, or maybe even worse. So they have the powers of their foreign affairs title. They got the powers of Minister of National Securities. They got the powers of AG. But what they don't realize, they seem to forget that these positions we gave them in escrow. They don't own these positions. They don't own these titles. We gave them this position in escrow. And my good people, if you go back and check, right in our beloved St. Kitts Nevis, there are prominent attorneys, prominent lawyers who, they said, misuse their clients' funds that should have been used for escrow for business without their authorization. Many of them was arrested, charged. Some might be still in jail, some might have been out by now. It is against the law to use your clients' funds in escrow without their permission. Just the same, the positions of Prime Minister, Foreign Affairs Minister, AG, DPP, whatever title they got it in escrow from with the electorate. And the Prime Minister and his team have crossed the line. They've gone into that zone, in my view, of the war zone against the people. They have sold out the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to save a few. How the hell the Prime Minister gonna tell this DJ, we just came out of a debate, we don't even know where that stands, where we are talking about an SSZ law, an SSZ bill that was brought to the Parliament of St. Kitts Nevis on the 31st of July 2025 without consultation with the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, without consultation with the residents of St. Kitts and Nevis. It is against the law. It's in violation of our constitution. But my good people, they got away with it. Because while the DJ is trying to bring awareness to our people, many are too afraid to stand up. Many are too afraid to speak out. Many are too afraid to call them out publicly, but privately they're reaching out to the DJ, telling this DJ they support the DJ. They appreciate what the DJ is doing. Privately, many of you, but publicly, can't see all on the street of Bastille. Now, the DJ arranged 4 consecutive awareness march in 2025. On the 26th of September, specifically, there were some individuals that came out reluctantly, afraid, because their status, people pressuring them. Political parties representation was there. You haven't seen them since. Pure political pressure. Now, we got some individuals there, Nevis. And I'm going to continue to give these individuals credit because from day one, they reach out to me and they have been consistent in their support. So I'm going to give them the credit. Individuals in the likes of Mr. James Gaskell Sr., Brother Charles Gaskell Jr., his mom, Lady Gaskell, 80 plus years old, blind. Her husband of 88 years old came down to St. Kitts with the team. Fishermen like Mikey came down and walked the route of St. Kitts Nevis. A blind individual walked the route of St. Kitts Nevis, led by her 88-year-old husband, to show support and to stand up to this malpractice that Prime Minister Joe has done to this federation. But many of you who could see, like I say, you all walk around with your eyes wide open, shut, blind, because what? A little handout, a little board, a little this, a little that. The time is coming, my good people. The time is here. If we don't stand up to this one, this is where the ship will sink. You all know the story of the Titanic. It was unsinkable. Ain't no different with what's going on with this Labour administration. You heard them clear in their presentation. 1 minute they defended Haiti. 1 minute they defending Cuba. But in such a deal, they decided to leave Haiti out. But my good people, guess what? I don't believe in Obia and voodoo and them nonsense. But it is clear that the former Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis believes in it. But he don't believe in the people of Haiti as the foreign minister who should be addressing this matter. He only need Haiti when he need to work Obia to stay in office. And it's not the DJ saying it. Let's hear this clip.
And that is why, you know, that is why this evening I was home, resting. I got a call. Said, Mr. Prime Minister, you know what is happening right now in the cemetery? I said, what? I said, what's going on up there? They say Sam Condor, Timothy Harris. They said Dwyer Rastafan, but I don't know if he was there. And some others up there in the cemetery. I said, yes. They're going to walk up here now upon us, boy. Look like I'm going to go Haiti. I said, boy.
Yes, my good people. You heard it right. That is the former Prime Minister of St. Kitts Nevis led Labour administration back then, Dr. Douglas. He have to go to Haiti because his former colleagues, he was told, was in the cemetery trying to work Obeah to take him out of office in 2015. Well, we all know the end result of that. He was out of office in 2015. There was a team unity administration installed in 2015. Let's hear it again. This is Dr. Douglas outright telling the people that he believes in Obeah. He practiced the faith, but he does not support the people of Haiti. Let's listen again.
And that is why, you know, that is why this evening I was home, resting. I got a call. Said, Mr. Prime Minister, you know what is happening right now in the cemetery? I said, what? I said, what's going on up there? They said, Sam Kondo, Timothy Harris. They said, Dwyer Rastafan, but I don't know if he was there. And some others up there in the cemetery. I said, yes. They're going to walk up here now upon us, boy. Look like I'm going to go Haiti.
Yes, my good people. That is Prime Minister Douglas at the time. Have to go to Haiti. Fast forward to 2026. Prime Minister just trying to tell the DJ today that without consultation with the citizens and residents of this country, that he and his team single-handedly signed an MOU with the United States of America to accept third countries refugee. It's just a nice word. You all heard me spoke about that prison project going on in Estridge. That is prison tourism. These are walls that are going to be used to house non-nationals of this country that will be deported from North America. My good people of St. Kitts and Nevis, the time is now to stand up, not just come on social media and write. I see all kind of writing from the various political arms, political parties. We need more than that. We need to walk down to Church Street and inform the Prime Minister and his team clearly that whatever MOU you sign with US or North America, put a hole on it, you know. Do not take it any further, because we, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, will not stand for that. We will not accept that kind of behavior from you. We need to know the facts. Lay that agreement out. Please let the people know when did this conversation started. And why would the US come to this small nation asking them to take third country refugees? Now, if you guys go on the Denzel Douglas Facebook page, you know, I'm pretty sure that it might be gone by now. But I read a posting he did there couple days ago, and I tried to explain to you all what I saw in that posting. And it was very clear. Someone who I know is a strong Labour supporter even want to know if his page was hacked. And what was posted on Denzel Douglas' Facebook page is small Caribbean islands to accept refugees from US. They all had no choice but to. Well, Dr. Douglas, I asked you the question Wednesday night, you know, and I'm going to ask you again this morning. Why would St. Kitts Nevis be pushed, forced in a position where they must accept refugees, as you all call it? I call it deportees, from North America without having any choice. We need to know that. My good people, it's time to stand up. I know many of you have been attacking the DJ for the things that he's been saying. But as I've said before, the DJ is not the problem. St. Kitts Nevis have 99 problems. The DJ is not one of them. The problem is that Prime Minister, that AG, Foreign Minister, and the full cabinet of Labour. I was a part of the campaign to elect this Juliet Labour administration. I have accepted, I have acknowledged that I was wrong in doing so. I cannot change them on my own. I've been consistent with my awareness. Been very consistent, trying to let the people know what I found out, because that was a promise I made. I made sure, not just privately, but publicly on this podcast. I said to the Prime Minister, whatever you do, when you go in there, please don't go in there and do the same as the farm administration. Please don't go in there and do worse than the farm administration. The Dr. Joe, Prime Minister, just said to me on this podcast, DJ could never be as bad as Timothy Harris. In less than 4 years, you have done worse than destroying this country. This country is in the dust. What are we going to do about this one, my good people? What are we going to do about this one? Just some months ago, we heard about CARICOM Free Movement. The Prime Minister came here and tell us that he have not signed off on the free movement because St. Kitts Nevis is not in a position economically to sustain that kind of hit. We just finished fighting with the Premier and the Prime Minister about this Destiny Project on Nevis. You guys see my little experience I had down at the Ramada on Christmas Eve. We had 2 Chinese and a couple of dogs intercept the DJ and telling the DJ he cannot go to the beach on a public road. Now, the Prime Minister is telling this DJ, the citizen of this country, that he have decided, his government have decided to sign an MOU with the United States of America to accept third country refugees without consultation with the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. My good people, if you are not going to say the buck stop here, then prepare to lose your sovereignty, prepare to lose what you have, prepare to lose your rights, because what's going to happen next? You see what the DJ saying right now on the social media? I would not be able to do. The freedom of speech will be gone. I will get locked down and I would disappear without anybody knowing where I am at. That's what's going on in some other part of the globe. This is where we are heading. This fight is for all of us, not just the DJ. This fight is for all of us. And the Prime Minister, he cannot even lie properly. You know, he cannot even lie properly. Anybody who knows this Prime Minister, he can't even look at you in your face. When the lie starts, he look down and his whatever he looking at with a pen in his hand. And you see this finger he normally use? Whenever you see him put up this finger, that's the power of the lies. The pen in his hand, the chicken of his nose, those are where he get his strength when he know he lying to the people. That is where he get his strength to lie to you. Just pay close attention. Now, the campaign season is over. We have been hearing a lot of shit about Nevis and fair share and the this and the that. And to every time the Prime Minister is stuck in a rut, he run back to this matter of fair share. He run back to it. The Prime Minister gone yesterday talking about the fee issue of the CBI. The Prime Minister is trying to tell us that money is owed to Nevis. And the money that is owed to Nevis, Timothy should pay them their money. Well, my good people, so who is the Prime Minister today? Who is the Prime Minister? So if monies are owed to Nevis, why don't the Prime Minister give this money to Nevis? He's the Minister of Finance. Why he fighting with the farmer administration about monies that are owed to Nevis? All he have to do is give directions to the Treasury to pay the monies to Nevis that is owed to Nevis. That's all the Prime Minister have to do. So I do not understand his game. What is the game he's playing? The mind game he's playing with the people of St. Kitts and Nevis is really sickening. There are some people that might say that basically I should not say what I am saying. I must stay quiet. My good people. But how can I stay quiet when the Prime Minister continue to lie to the people? The Prime Minister is stating that only $200 million was given to Nevis. The Premier have acknowledged how many monies were given to Nevis, and the Premier have bragged how happy he was with Timothy Harris and the Team Unity. You don't have to listen to the DJ Hate for yourself.
And we have, I think, that experiment, that idea. People watered it, it has germinated, and I think 2 years later, it is bearing spectacular fruit. From Nevis, and the perspective from the smaller island, which is a constituent element of this country called St. Kitts and Nevis, I think the relationship is the best that it has ever been between St. Kitts and Nevis. And if we credit unity with nothing else, and if we credit our Prime Minister with nothing else, I think it is the first time in our history, and it is a history that is a long history. It is a history going back almost 2 centuries of difficulty, of agitation and discontent. And I feel that the mood now is different. The people of Nevis now genuinely feel that they are part of the country that is St. Kitts and Nevis. They now feel for the first time that they are included. And that was the promise of unity. That is what the people of Nevis bought into. And I'm happy, as I've said in other places, that I am alive and standing in the middle of our history. We're not waiting for it to be created for us. We are refashioning and retooling our country, equipping our people to do the very best that they can, and to make St. Kitts and Nevis the best small island state. It is not a coincidence, Clive, that our country, small as it is, the smallest in the hemisphere, and I think people need to put that in perspective, because the smallest in the hemisphere is leading them. The Bible says that a child shall lead them. We're not quite a child, but we're the smallest and we're leading them. You look at our economic output. You look at the reports, whether they be the IMF, whether they be the World Bank, whether they be our own central bank. You look at what is out and you realize that St. Kitts and Nevis is punching well above its weight and performing and outperforming many of the bigger neighbors that we have in the region. I attended a recent meeting of CELAC, which is the organization between Latin America and the Caribbean. And we had a presentation there from a UN organization, UN ECLAC, looking at economic forecasts. And Clive, it gave my heart tremendous joy and pride to see that in all the countries of Latin America and the Caribbean, St. Kitts and Nevis was on the chart as number 3 in terms of economic growth. Number 3 of all. CELAC represents 33 countries. And of all those 33, little St. Kitts and Nevis was at number 3 in the entire region, Latin America and the Caribbean, in terms of growth. That, to my mind, is testimony to the success and the spectacular fruit that Team Unity has borne and will continue to bear.
My good people, Another thing that this Prime Minister would like us to forget. During his presentation yesterday, he tried to claim that they don't have a choice but to accept this MOU. Because remember, St. Kitts Nevis was under restrictions, would be placed on restrictions from sometime March of 2025. If you recall, when the DJ broke the news about the sanctions, the restrictions to be placed, and other individuals like the BB, the Triple B, the man Obi Powell, the Ian Patches, and others, when we broke the news, remember the Prime Minister keeps saying that they have not received any official communication from the Department of State or from the US. But they're in contact with the US. They're in negotiation. What were the negotiations? Tell the people the truth. You all made a decision prior to going into office that you're going to follow the Constitution. You took oath. You took oath to uphold the Constitution. You took oath to secrecy. You took oath to take care of this country. You all went in there and, I understand, legislate the good governance agenda, freedom of information, integrity in public life, and all that good stuff. But what are we getting is none of those things. Because when you guys got into cabinet for your first meeting and realized there are people within your group are bad actors that have robbed the US territory the wrong way and have committed crimes, you guys decided to take a vote to defend those individuals, try to save them instead of saving the country. That's really what happened. And that's what brings us to where we are today. My good people, that is the bottom line. That is what happened, and that is why we are where we are. Bad actors within the Labour administration and their colleagues, in an effort for them not to get a dose of what President Maduro gets, the country have to pay the price. And the DJ is saying, no, let them go. This DJ is saying no to that nonsense. Let them go and face their charges. Do not sell out the country to save your colleagues. One of them told me one time, Jeffrey, if it was Timothy alone involved, we could say patience, but we got to protect Dougie. And I keep asking the question. The question is, protect Dougie from what? Does one man worth that much that the entire country, the entire Federation of St. Kitts Nevis must pay the cost for one man bad action? And now you could get upset with me as much as I want, There's one life I got to live. And when that time comes, I have no control over it. We all have to follow that road. So I'm going to talk hard. And I'm going to talk long. And I'm going to talk again. And I'm going to continue to repeat the things I am saying. Because they're factual. When I'm going to listen to Prime Minister just chatting nonsense about third country refugees, only CARICOM citizens will be accepted, is nonsense. There's words I would like to use on this podcast I cannot use. My good people, I'm trying to control myself. Like one individual on social media said, Antigua, Barbados, Dominica, Guyana, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago are taking their people. So if these countries are taking their nationals that will be returned, then who is saying Kitts Nevis really will be taken? What is the need for a MOU? According to Prime Minister during his speech yesterday, that these countries already accepted the fact that they're going to accept their returning nationals. So if these countries already accept the fact, you as the head of CARICOM, It's telling the people of St. Kitts and Nevis not to worry, because these countries, these member CARICOM countries, will be taking their citizens. Then why sign an MOU to take citizens from the CARICOM? Dr. Dre, doesn't make sense. Your lies does not add up. The DJ telling you, putting it to you like I always do. I'm not sending a message around the corner to nobody to you. I'm coming directly to you. Cut out your bullshit. Cut out your lies. It's bad enough. You went into Parliament and tried to lie, and the former Prime Minister, about selling out the country, when you're the one that I understand is alleged sign off on the majority of those CORs. Let's take a listen to you and your bullshit.
Further, on August 18, 2023, St. Kitts and Nevis CBI officials, led by Attorney General, met with UK Home Office about our new CBI regulations and practices. On October 26, 2023, our same team of officials met with US Treasury Department in Florida, along with officials from Caribbean CBI states, to discuss progress on US Caribbean Roundtable 6 agreed principles, Madam Speaker. On January 25, 2024, the team met with EU visa officials in Dominica to update them on new regulations and current practices. Madam Speaker, we have maintained constant dialogue and engagement with our international partners. However, we knew that the prison project had contributed to over 20,000 new citizenships being granted in a short period of time, Madam Speaker. This is the travesty. The travesty in all of this, Madam Speaker. 20,000, Madam Speaker, citizenships, over 20,000 to 25,000 new citizenships being granted in a short period of time. Madam Speaker, let's pause for a moment on that. How can anyone grant 25,000 citizenships for a prison? 25,000 based on the new census, and the Minister of Sustainability is here, Senator Honorable Dr. Joya Clark, that we are about 53,000 residents here in St. Kitts and Nevis, both citizens and residents. 53,000, Madam Speaker. And for a prison, you give up to 25,000 new citizenships. Madam Speaker, this is a travesty. It is borderline treason. On a prison project, you have granted citizenships to up to 25,000 citizens, half of your population. Madam Speaker, if any percentage of those persons were to come here, what will happen to St. Kitts and Nevis? But nobody was thinking about St. Kitts and Nevis. People were thinking about themselves, Madam Speaker. Putting self above nation. This is a travesty. And I want history to record that I informed the people of this. Our children must know this. Our grandchildren must also know this. This cannot be hidden from the people. This is a travesty, Madam Speaker. Any leader who grants 25, 50% of your population in citizenship by investment over prison, any leader who does that, Madam Speaker, should never be able to face the people again. Madam Speaker, this hurts badly, you know. Each time I watch the number, I call the AG. AG, is this real? Is this number real? 25,000 over a prison project? In such a short period of time, committing the country to this? Committing the government to this? Madam Speaker, every citizen should be outraged by this. This was totally unnecessary. Our country should not have been subjected to this risk.
So, my good people, that is Prime Minister Joe making his presentation in Parliament, trying to pass the blame to Timothy Harris. But this problem did not start just under Timothy Harris. The Team Unity administration contributed to the problem at hand. But when Prime Minister Joe took office, he knew of the underselling, he knew of that project, and he pledged during campaign to shut it down. Why did he continue it? The underselling that MSR Media, aka Martinez, brought to the attention of the Prime Minister that he claimed was not so. The judicial review that he challenged and lost right in our courts. The agreement was that they're going to track down these individuals and ensure that they pay the difference or lose their citizenship. You will hear the Prime Minister yesterday claiming that he was squeaky clean. Nothing happened to him. He didn't do nothing wrong. But he did a lot wrong. Because I have WhatsApp messages and they are also on social media. Communication between Dwyer Astafan and Garth Wilkin, the AG, speaking about this underselling. In one of those WhatsApp messages, the AG said to Dwyer, this was a perfect scam. So why today the perfect scam have not been addressed? The DPP also is aware of these scams. Why to date nobody is being dealt with according to the Prime Minister? If you commit a crime, we will deal with you. Because they are criminals themselves. Them themselves have committed their own crimes. Listen to Glenn Barth with an exchange with the Prime Minister, talking about this underselling, that he acknowledged there was underselling. So if the Prime Minister has acknowledged there was underselling, and this was the case that was brought by MSR to the courts, that they were denying underselling, but yet now he's collecting funds from those underselling, which means, Mr. Prime Minister, you was caught with your hands in the cookie jar.
Individuals and families who access St. Kitts and Nevis citizenship under the controversial Galaxy-promoted prison project started under a previous government administration are still being allowed to bring their citizenship to legal status by paying the required amounts under the current government led by Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew. Questioned on the matter during his most recent roundtable with the news media, Prime Minister Drew said he didn't have the statistical information, but the process was still continuing, inclusive of due diligence procedures.
And the Galaxy don't have the numbers with me, but people continue to pay because if your due diligence is clean, and we backcheck a lot of the due diligence, our next thing is to make sure that you pay the amount. You haven't paid the amount to maintain your citizenship, you have to make sure you are given the opportunity to correct that wrong as an individual, as a family. If you don't correct it, then you lose it. Simple as that. And to say to those who are now coming, please follow the law. That is all we're saying, unless you were advised otherwise. But
so, my good people, this is the kind of bullshit that this Prime Minister tried to peddle, and his supporters and enablers continue to entertain his bullshit of lies. There are many reasons why today St. Kitts Nevis is caught in the web to have to accept refugees in this country. And America is serious about it. And if we really look at the facts are very clear. Under a Denzel Douglas Labour administration, what Dr. Douglas did then, remove the place of birth field from the passport in order to give bad actors access to this passport, which was by extension used to travel the globe, where St. Kitts have free visa movement with countries. That's where this problem really started, when Douglas did that. Dr. Douglas, as a result of that, lost his visa to the United States, and by extension lost his office in 2015. This DJ had one of those passports and didn't realize it. under the former Team Unity administration, when I was going after Timothy Harris, I was here for Music Festival one year, and within a week I get back to New York, I get a letter that my passport was deactivated. My passport have several years left on it. I have said it on this podcast. I refuse to pay for your passport, not because of the money, but based on principle. I was not going to do that because I paid for a valid passport from St. Kitts Nevis. And if the government screwed up, they have a responsibility to replace it. I give credit to Dr. Drew when I came here back in 2023. That is only under that Dr. Drew led Labour administration I received my passport back. Until then, I didn't have a St. Kitts Nevis valid passport because of the nonsense that was done by Dr. Douglas. Fast forward to now. Dr. Drew knew when we campaigned that there was underselling. He knew of the criminal activity going on with the CBI. He let it continue with this prison project. The person that is in charge of Galaxy, which is the prime company that was dealing with our CBI and still to date, who is responsible for that prison project in Estridge. When we campaign and carry on with all kind of hoopla, only to find out the young lady ended up in the United Nations Assembly in 2022 with our delegation and another Indian gentleman. They're the one that control our money, our purse string in St. Kitts Nevis. Not the Prime Minister, not the AG, not the Finance Minister. Those criminals. They're bad actors. And that's what's going on. When I hear my good partner there, Brother Chesley Hamilton, refer to this government as can be labeled as corrupt, it is clear because there's so many things to point to as corruption. What have the US said to St. Kitts and Nevis and the rest of the Caribbean islands? Listen, you did not do your due diligence and control your CBI policies properly. People was not properly vetted. As a result, many criminals was let loose in our islands, in our land, in our country. And we're either going to impose restrictions on your country, arrest the people that allow these crimes to be committed, or you're going to take these criminals in your country. That is it. These criminals that you guys let loose in our country as a result of you not doing your due diligence with your CBI. When we catch them, you're going to take them. Because they cannot go back to their respective countries. If they go back there, they will be killed or whatever. And the US believe in humanitarian efforts. So I know for a fact through the UN Charter, if individuals will be treated a certain way in their country, they're not going to send them there. So they got to find some place to send them, but they do not want them in the US. What Dr. Drew should have done is come to the country and tell the truth. I'll put it to Dr. Douglas. You are responsible, along with others, for what St. Kitts and Nevis is going through right now. You guys should be held accountable. You all must come to the country and tell the country the truth. You guys have done a lot of good for the country, but you all have done a lot of shit. It's as simple as that. And the DJ found out a lot of these things by looking at that documentary because I saw it firsthand. And like I told many people via this podcast, for those of you who are attacking the DJ, I accept your attack. Because the reality is that there are some things I just cannot say here for a lot of reasons. I cannot put the state of this country, this federation, at risk by releasing certain things. I cannot do that. I cannot be irresponsible and bring out certain information. But as the months progress, and as the year progresses, there's a lot more you are going to find out. A whole lot more. My good people, The party just started. The party just started. So guess what? At the end of the day, when the shit hit the fan, I will continue to come back and remind you all of the things that I've been saying. I'm going to come back to remind you all of the things that I've been saying. But at the end of the day, you know, I went and I saw that documentary on the 9th of May, 2025, with some other individuals from St. Kitts and Nevis. Like I said to the Prime Minister, and I want to read these texts, you know. I want to remind you all, because I know some of you have bad memory. And some of you might believe that when the Prime Minister came with this propaganda about people shaking him down, that is factual. But I will say this to you. Whenever I visit the Prime Minister's office, there's at least 6 to 8 bodyguards there that is working with the Prime Minister. And that day in question, in November of 2024, when Mr. Benter, myself, met with the Prime Minister, the Attorney General was there. The two head of the line in this country, and what I have to say to Prime Minister Joe and the AG, and anyone else that want to question the DG, if someone came to your office and trying to shake you down, the head of the country, for 40 to 100 million US dollars, and your AG is in there, and none of you call a police officer from the outside to escort this individual that is trying to shake you down for 40 to 100 million US dollars across to 1840, then that speaks volume about your ability to run a country. I'm going to leave that there. But on the 9th of May 2025, I sent a message to the Prime Minister. Let me check properly. It was, no. I think it might have been sometime in, yes, the 9th of May, 2025. I said, good afternoon, Honorable Prime Minister Joe. How are you doing? This message is to update you on the matter of the documentary about the CBI that produced by Mr. Martinez. I went to the screening. It was well put together and very compelling. Several of our citizens, including yourself, is featured in it. I recommend that you try to see it for yourself before it goes into the public domain. It is very damaging. As you're aware, I am only a phone call away. Time is running out on the release. The ball is in your court. This is a message I always send to the Prime Minister or when I speak to him verbally. I am only a phone call away. I am here, I have your back. This message went to the Prime Minister at 5:23 p.m. 5:23. Nobody else knew that I sent this message to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister tried to use this message days later, when his back was against the wall, just like a cat, when they are caught, they come at you and try to present this message as somebody trying to shake him down. And some people still believe this bullshit. Some people still believe this bullshit. So since the Prime Minister decided to come public with a message I sent to him, trying to give him a heads up, I decided to unmask myself and present the facts. And some people still don't want to accept the fact. So I will continue on now to read those communications between the Prime Minister and myself. Because since he chose to bring it public, let's make it public. So at 5:23 p.m., That's the message I sent the Prime Minister. On the same date, here's the response from the Prime Minister. 5 minutes later, at 5:28 p.m., good day. I am sorry that you're caught up in this. This is a message from the Prime Minister to me. 5:28 p.m., take care. 5:28 p.m., this man cared about the 40 to 100 million he tried to extort. 5:29 p.m., the AG was in the room. 5:29 p.m., you will be okay. 5:29 p.m., take care. 5:30 p.m., my country will never be extorted. 5:30 p.m., country above self. But right now the country has been extorted by the US. Right now the country has been extorted because they are selling out the country to save their asses. So let's continue. At 5:31, I responded to the Prime Minister. As long as you are aware of the situation that you are dealing with, I am just keeping you up to date on what I see taking place. I hope that you understand that I have your back. 5:32 from the Prime Minister. Martinez is a nasty fellow. 5:32. I have everything to let you. 5:32. I will defend my country. 5:32. You will be surprised. 5:32. Before you meet him, please know who he is. 5:33. I think you don't know. 5:33. This can damage all who associate with him. Well, at 5:35, I responded to the Prime Minister. I said I don't have any plans or reason to meet with him. I am following up on the matter for our beloved Federation. All I am hoping for is a positive outcome. 5:36, message from the Prime Minister. I will not be extorted, nor blackmailed. 5:37, but he sent someone, asked me, the $40, $100 million to not do it. That's 5:37. That blackmail and extortion, 5:37. 5:37 again. We'll start an official court case for extortion of head of government. If this wasn't so serious, it would be laughable. 5:37. We'll take it to the UN. 5:38. Did not want to do this, but have to. 5:38. Previews have started. Court case will begin. 5:38. I will be brought to the highest court. 5:38. I may be small, but not stupid. 5:39. Meaning St. Kitts is small, but we are not stupid people. At 5:40, I responded to the Prime Minister again. Okay, as long as you and the country are not affected, I am good. I will continue to monitor the situation. 5:47 p.m. But you be careful. 5:48. Very. 5:48. Because there's a lot of info. 5:48. I have 400 pages document. 5:48. Again, be very careful. At 5:50 p.m., I responded to the Prime Minister. As you said, we may be small. We may be a small country. We may be from a small country, but we are not stupid. If the sky is blue, no one will tell me that is red. That was my last communication with that matter at the time. I received other stuff after. But the point I am trying to make is this. These things we all knew was taking place. And at the end of the day, when I saw the direction in which this prime minister was going, taking this country, the DJ really could not be a part of it. I could not have just campaigned against corruption and greed of a former administration. And now because someone that I supported come in and doing the same thing I was, I'm supposed to turn a blind eye. The DJ just could not do that. And at the end of the day, my good people, I am asking you guys to please save our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Stand up to this Prime Minister and his corrupt regime. Stand up to save our country. What is to come is not pretty. Many of you who think that you are okay right now, let me say it again. Many of you who think you are okay at the moment, what's to come? You ever hear this saying? A man will grab onto a straw to save his ass. That is where this government is right now. All of them ass is in hot water with the international community. They are fighting for their life and they will sell every one of us, including the country, to save their backsides. My good people, let's take a listen to this clip here from my boy Chesley and from the Win FM, and I'll be out of here shortly. I just want to leave with you that the information that are coming, it's coming drip, drip. However, as the days progress, it's only going to get worse. It will not be getting any better.
We call into question.
No, I'm going to say something. One is innocent until proven otherwise, meaning
Yes.
proven guilty. We have a situation here in this federation where we have a number of high-level officials within the Jew administration who have been charged and brought before the magistrate court. Well, nobody is saying anything about this. The DPP made certain pronouncements, but this thing is in my view, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Well, I wasn't aware of this. This is good. This is news to me now.
I mean, during the last 3 years, there have been 2 magistrates charged and brought before the court, whether it's under the integrity in public life legislation or not. You have 2 magistrates charged and brought before the court. And when you see a magistrate name on the voters list, and I mean on the court list, and an offense next to it, I don't even want to call the offense name.
Yeah.
You understand? But the list is a public thing. You can't have those kind of things happening. That's one, right? 2 magistrates. You have a lawyer charged with, among other things, money laundering, corrupting the course of justice, all kind of different things, right? You had another lawyer died with about 5 charges hanging over her head.
Wow.
Right? Well, she wasn't a part of the Jew administration, but then you had 2 permanent secretaries before the court last week, charged again. These are high officials. I mean, a permanent secretary, in the U.S. you call him secretary of this, and in the U.S. you call him secretary of state and secretary of that. In Canada, a PS is a deputy minister. They call them deputy ministers. So when I say high official, I really mean high officials. When this is the sort of thing that is happening, if somebody level a wide sweeping brush against the administration and say the Terence Jew-led administrations are corrupt administration, they only have to point to those charges.
Wow. Yeah. I see.
They don't need anything more. They say, well, look here, people,
I
and
see
no,
your perspective.
so one is innocent until proven otherwise, and I raise that. But if there is a prima facie, a case on the face of it, on the face of the documents, it may not be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. It may not be proven to whatever. But could one, based on that, begin to say the accumulating effect is that there is a corrupt administration? Something needs to be done. Something needs to be said. When you're talking about transparency, you understand? You had an ambassador being suspended for all manner of things that they say happen within the Prime Minister's office. And if these charges are charges that supposed to go before the magistrate, and normally these charges are for the time period on these charges are less than 6 months or less. When more than 6 months done gone, this person is still on leave, not charged with anything. What is going on? So I said all of that in answering the question that in certain other jurisdiction, the person will do the honorable thing, step aside, resign,
That is what
let
was
the
in my
let the
mind.
justice system take its course, right?
Yes, that was in my mind.
In saying it, sometimes some of these people are put on half pay, suspended with half pay, or suspended with full pay. You understand? But there's no consistency. Sometimes the lesser man is asked to go and struggle on half pay, but the high officials is on full pay, or many times they're still on the job, even though they are charged.
Yeah.
With consistency, that's what I'm asking for.
So, my good people, it is clear with what Brother Chelsea Hamilton is speaking about is the constant and justified actions of this Jew-led Labour administration. And just to recap, without any consultation with the citizens of our beloved Federation, on the 8th of January 2026, during his square table presentation, Prime Minister Jew said this to the nation.
So St. Kitts and Nevis has negotiated and entered into a memorandum of understanding with the United States of America for the potential transfer of certain third country nationals. And I want us to listen carefully, who are citizens or nationals of the Caribbean community. This does not involve anybody outside of CARICOM. This is in keeping with our CARICOM principle. And I will further say that because of security matters, it does not include Haiti at this particular time. It does not involve anybody from any other place outside of the CARICOM region. Under the arrangement, the United States may propose transfers of CARICOM nationals. This is what St. Kitts and Nevis has negotiated, without violent or sexual criminal backgrounds. The MOU contemplates jointly develop operational procedures, including capacity-based limits and logistical arrangements. So in St. Kitts and Nevis's negotiations, through our proactive diplomacy, this only contemplates CARICOM citizens. At this time, for security reasons, excluding Haiti. These CARICOM nationals, they are without violent or sexual criminal backgrounds. I think there might be different discussions with other jurisdictions, but in St. Kitts and Nevis, the CARICOM nationals, excluding Haiti at this time for obvious security matters, and thirdly, these persons cannot be violent or sexual criminals, and it has to be agreed to between our partner, the United States of America, and St. Kitts and Nevis. We are a CARICOM country. CARICOM citizens can come to St. Kitts and Nevis, and all CARICOM countries, I think, have agreed to receive their people. So it means, therefore, that this arrangement of, I would call, collaboration really is a scenario that is in keeping with our CARICOM principles.
My good people, like I said, for those of you who got sense, common sense, or nonsense, this MOU that the Prime Minister is speaking about is second to my concern. This conversation should have came to the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, locally, regional, and internationally, before any MOU is signed. And again, I will challenge the Prime Minister. If other CARICOM countries are going to take their citizens, why should St. Kitts and Nevis have to sign off on any MOU to take them? Cut out the damn lies. There's more to this than you are telling the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. The DJ gonna stay focused. I know some people are easily bombarded by your guys' tie and your suit and your shoes and whatever. The DJ gonna stay focused on the issue. There's more to this than St. Kitts Nevis accepting CARICOM refugees, deportees that are not of St. Kitts Nevis descent. I stand by that, and I will continue to say to the people of St. Kitts Nevis, this is time to stand up for yourself. Stand up to save our country. My good people, I work in hospital industry for many years. I met many Jamaicans. Most places I work, there's always a lot of Jamaicans there. Very talented people. And many of those Jamaicans I became close friends with. And when I speak about visiting Jamaica, many of them said they will never go back to Jamaica. Why? They had to run, leave their properties and belongings in Jamaica to save their lives. There are others that invited me to Jamaica. And I am saying to them that I love to deal with the poor people. I love to deal with the roots. So if I go to Jamaica, I have to go to two places. If no place else, I have to go to Tivoli Garden and I have to go to Trenchtown. Those are two places that I wish to visit if I go to Jamaica. And everyone I have spoken to over the years tell me straight up, then I'm not going to see Jamaica because they won't be taking me there. They will not enter Trenchtown or Tivoli Gardens. It's only a few years ago I had the opportunity to visit Jamaica because I got involved in the domino business. I know some of you may not believe it, but I love my cricket and my domino and my pool, but I became an avid domino player, very good domino player. And becoming a part of the USA domino team, I was elected the secretary of the USA domino team. So we traveled to Jamaica some years back, had a couple of games at the Red Stripe Auditorium and different places in Jamaica. And there was a gentleman from Old Harbor, Red Ground to be exact, by the name of Rankin. Very good domino player, very good coders, very good open code domino player. And Rankin decided, Jeffroy, you're not going to stay in any hotel in Jamaica. You're going to stay at my home. And I accepted because Rankin is a cool kid, you know. And we went to Jamaica, lovely place. Went down Old Harbor Town, had some good lime there and thing. Went on Old Harbor Bay, had some lovely fish and bammy and stuff like that. The people really took care of me while I was in Jamaica. And one of our off days from playing the tournament, Rankin decided to take me for a drive. And I can recall an area when I about to enter the area. Man, it's the most beautiful cemetery I've seen in my life. All those tombs are so clean and polished tiles, you know, real polished, top class homes, you would call them. I call them as the most expensive homes I see in Jamaica was those tombs. And we went into an area where Rankin took me and introduced me to a sister of his. And then we walked up the road and sat at a bar and banging a few games of dominoes. I did enjoying myself with the guys and whatever, chatting up. And then Rankin turned to me. He said, Jeff, you know where you are? I said, no. He said, this is the place they call Tivoli Garden. And then it hit me. When Rankin said this is the place they call Tivoli Garden, I remember when we entered, I see the vans, I mean, the pickup trucks with the military and the big guns and stuff like that. But I never paid any attention until he told me we're in Tivoli Garden. So I was happy to visit Tivoli, had a few drinks and had a good life in there. The people really took care of me. And then after we left Tivoli, he did take me into Trenchtown. So I got my wish to visit Tivoli, Trenchtown. I went down to Old Kingston and played some domino tournament as well, Old Kingston and New Kingston. I basically saw at least 2/3 of Jamaica. Went to St. Ann, went to Portland, went to Flatbridge, went up to, I mean, when I got back to New York, I'm telling these Jamaicans now my visit and how I enjoy myself. They say, well, Ma, we show you good, you know, because we born in Jamaica and we never seen those places. And they will never see these places. Well, I am trying to tell you people here in St. Kitts Nevis, Jamaica is a very big landscape. The landscape there is very big. St. Kitts Nevis is small. What is about to happen to us is not going to be pretty. Many of you that have your properties here and think that you're in control of your properties, ain't gonna be no more. And this ain't no scare tactic. I am telling you what's to come. Just as everything that I have presented thus far have come to light, it's coming because these modern day politicians that we have elected to come into office, they're only thinking about their pocket and themselves. Once money is put before them, they don't stop to think about country or citizens is what they can benefit. Many of them have set up their life outside of St. Kitts, who don't have property in Grenada, St. Vincent, Dubai, the US, or the EU, or the UK, where they're going to sit back and enjoy their last days of life. They don't have to be here amongst us. As I said some night ago, many have left St. Kitts Nevis with the intention not to come back. This DJ always had the intention of coming back. And I am back. And I do intend to fight with every fiber in my body, legally, ethically, to save our St. Kitts and Nevis. So my good people, I just want you to understand this. For those of you who don't understand what is taking place, please pay close attention to what is happening. Some time ago, my cousin there, Dr. Martin, Sam Kanda, and Jamie had a conversation on Freedom FM. I'm going to drop that clip. But today is Friday, and I'm really looking forward to hear what they have to say about this situation.
I think we have a people who are paying attention. In those comments, most of the comments, people are paying attention to the ebb and flow of the political arena, because that's where the leaders, the political leaders, come from. And I firmly believe, and I'm open to be challenged, that the days of the loyal section, the must win, must vote for me, those days are diminishing.
They're gone.
Well,
That's
you know,
right. That's right.
Well, I
The
could have
electorate has changed.
I could have argued up until the 1990s that both PAM and Labour had a 40%, 30%, 40% loyal following. I don't see that
No.
anymore, and that in the electorate, in the body of the electorate, there is a 60-70% whose vote has to be sought. Notice I didn't say bought. Sought. And so
Like
this
Mark
both,
Twain said, the political party gets support when they deserve it.
and I forgot the author of this, another person
We don't
said,
know that to be a fact because Trump won.
well, he won fairly.
We don't know if he deserved it.
He
but
won fairly. The elections are won and lost by people who show up to vote, and he got his people out.
Elections have consequences.
And so the persons who have this must-win mentality in their head, I wish to have a conversation with them, because I don't accept that there's any must-win. Anyway, we have to fight.
And the politicians have to do the work.
Have to fight,
They
so-
have, and there are no, well, apart from maybe constituency 6, there are no safe seats in St. Kitts and Nevis. Well, let me not speak for Nevis, but there are no safe seats in St. Kitts anymore.
Yeah, man.
Which one?
6 and
Yeah,
3.
that's what I said. 3?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well,
But 6, maybe.
I think, well, I'm going to end by saying it's going to be a very, very hot topic when there's boundaries change.
Yeah.
The bond is changing.
When there's boundaries
Well,
change.
they have to change.
Well, we join the boundaries.
Yeah. They have
Make
to
them
change.
constitutional. I
We are
think
still
all
waiting
bets
on that.
all bets are off. We have
still
a
waiting
new
on that.
calculus,
Yeah.
and so again, I want to end by saying, we, the people, the electorate, have to insist on the political parties that they put up the best people to run, because we cannot afford idiots in Church Street. And where's the NIA located? And Charlestown. Cannot afford that.
Mr. Kondo, any final words?
Yeah, I think these are really interesting times.
Very.
And people think, I think people don't give politics and politicians the credit and the admiration and think that is due. I say that this is something that I enjoy doing and will do it again.
You would?
I would do it again.
He has not thrown in the towel. That's what he said.
I will do it. When not now, not I'll
No,
go
I
back to
understand.
you.
I understand.
In a new life.
I don't
a
know
new
what Dr.
self-concept.
Martin was trying to do, but I understood what you meant.
That's the thing. And this is an honorable thing. This is a good thing. And people have to learn to differentiate between service to the people and parasites. I mean,
Do we have a lot of parasites in politics?
I always saying that the most sacred duty of a citizen is to vote. Without government, life will be nasty, short and brutish.
But I can.
There's nothing wrong with the politics. It is the people who involve in
I
what they
can
do.
also understand that sometimes people become disenchanted with politicians, as the person wrote that, the person wrote that all the politicians bad.
Yeah,
No,
all the
right?
politicians.
But people have that notion that a lot of times people enter politics not for the good that they can do for the people, but the good that they can do for themselves.
Absolutely.
Right? So that makes people not really want to go out to vote. So it is the politician's job and the job of conversations such as these to educate people about the importance of making the right decision.
You know something, and we're talking about the resignation.
We're still speaking on the adjournment.
Yes, my good people. So that was a conversation back in 25 between my good cousin there, Dr. Martin, and the man Sam Kanda, Jamie. But the follow-up to that conversation to me was more compelling by the JL. So let's take a quick listen to that one.
Letter that Rudy Val penned and that you've shared with us just now. But what I want to share with you in closing is that we're supposed to be a democratic country.
Yeah.
When politicians are in opposition, they're all for the people, of the people, by the people, all of that.
Yeah, to get into government.
There you go. But from the time you get in, you forget the people.
Yeah.
At times, it seems to me.
Yeah.
And that town halls, which were, before you get into office, you're having meetings here, there, and everywhere, because you want to get elected. Once you're elected, you tend to not want to see so many meetings. Or it doesn't happen anyway. But I think that politicians should give back to the community by having town halls monthly. Whatever you want to share with people, share it with them at the town hall, because people will come out to town halls because they feel a part of the government. I feel that in this case, the SSZ zone should have been special sustainability zone should have been shared with the people before it got to Parliament. I think that something should have been done at that level to involve the people, because you're people's government, you're a democratic government, and this is what democracy is all about: caring for people and sharing with people. That is fundamental. And so I want to urge governments all over the world, including those here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and in opposition, because when you're in opposition, you see everything, but when you get in, you forget. So share with the people at all times. Have your broadcast, but go out and meet the people face to face. Because this is what it is all. This is what governance, good governance, is all about.
That's right. That's right.
And so I'm calling on politicians near and far, especially those in St. Kitts and Nevis, all the political parties. All the political parties. If you care for people, and you want to get re-elected, and you want to be a good, successful politician, care for people by sharing. And so this is what should have been done. It's not too late.
No, never too late. Never too late to consult the people.
Sam
never
said
too
it.
late.
So that's...
So my good people, you heard what the big chairs said, to share with the people, consultation, town halls. Most recently, I'm pretty sure you would have realized with the eruption of the SSZ bill that was introduced in Parliament, and the SSZ Act that was passed in Parliament. There has been were several town hall meetings and press conference and whatever. Not one time did the Prime Minister see it fit to tell the citizens of this country about this conversation that they are having with the US to accept third country refugees. This is how they think about us. We are nothing to them. We gave them the country to run for better St. Kitts Nevis, for the people of St. Kitts Nevis. They're using it as their bargaining chip, as their slush fund. My first sight of this thing some 3+ years ago, when I found out that the citizenship by investment, our CBI citizenship outweighs the natural citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis, I reached out to my boy Mighty Pat and give him some lyrics to try to put a track together, which he did a very good job on. But my good people, just before I play this song, I want to drop another bomb on you guys. And I'm pretty sure many people don't realize that this is happening under our nose. According to the Constitution of 1983 and our citizenship application, when you go to the Ministry of Homeland Security, it tells us that any child that born outside of St. Kitts Nevis who has a connection with parents or grandparents can legally apply for citizenship by descent and become a citizen of our St. Kitts Nevis. That is what the application still says today. But upon visiting the Office of National Security a few weeks back, I was informed by workers at the National Security that that no longer stands. That citizens born outside of St. Kitts and Nevis can no longer obtain citizenship through their grandparents, only through their parent. Hear me again. I was informed by a worker at National Security that in the past, individuals who were born outside of St. Kitts Nevis but has a grandparent or a parent that were born in St. Kitts Nevis can obtain citizenship by descent through their parent or grandparent. This new Dr. Drew-led administration under the leadership of A.G. Garth Wilkin is telling the DJ now that with immediate effect, they are not accepting application for citizen by descent through grandparent. My good people, the message is clear. They are willing to accept citizenship by economic citizenship. They are willing to accept a destiny. They are willing to accept third world refugees, deportees who don't have any ties to St. Kitts and Nevis. But we, the citizens who have connections to our grandparent, cannot exercise that right that we once enjoyed. I am bringing the information to you, my good people. I'm going to drop this track. Those who want to continue to spin the labor-matics, continue to do so, but they will not change the facts. So let's take a quick listen to this track that was put together by the Mighty Pat and DJ Mauricio.
Are you ready? This is Mighty Pat at the control tower. We're gonna chant them down. We're gonna push them down. We're gonna break them down. Get ready to sing. 1, 2, 3. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis, that shouldn't be. Foreigners taking over slowly in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. St. Kitts Nevis, where I was born, there will be no place for me to hold on. We'll be sinking, we'll be drowning in deep water. There'll be no recover. Power hungry politicians slowly selling out the island to Tom Dick. Anybody who have money Now look what they make we. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis belongs to we. Foreigners taking over daily in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush we. The little job that we used to have, foreigners take it while me a starve. The little food that I used to sell, foreigners take him, even that as well. The jobs and businesses here in this country are owned by Arabs, Indians and Chinese. Gone to the beach, this white man tell me to get off of his property. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis, that shouldn't be. Foreigners taking over slowly in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over daily like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. DJ Marisha came and tell me. He said, Mighty, listen carefully. There'll be no place in our country left for are we. Watch and you will see. Foreigners will be Prime Minister. Foreigners will be Premier. Foreigners will be Governor. Cause of passport money, we're going back in slavery. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis, that shouldn't be. Foreigners taking over daily in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. If you are proud to be a Kittitian, if you are proud to be an Nevisian, then take your flag up in your hand and wave it in any direction. These land belong to you and me. So stand up with pride and dignity and tell them foreigners bully. They ain't gon' chase me out of we country. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis should belong to we. Foreigners taking over daily in our country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush we. Come on. Let me see you say. Let me hear you say. Let me see you do it. Wave. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Don't quit them. Put up.
Yes, my good people. And like I said, when I went across to the National Security Office, only to find out that the past practice of children who were born outside of St. Kitts Nevis but have ties via their parent or grandparent who was allowed to get a citizenship through their grandparents have now been denied under this Juled Labor administration. And I challenged a young lady there at the National Security Office, and she decided to call someone from the back to speak to me. And it was a big laugh, you know, because when the lady came out and she saw me, she said, "You, DJ Marisha, you won't quote me on your podcast. Go down by legal, the legal talk to you about what's going on because I don't know what's going on." And I did went across to Port Zante and check with the legal area who confirmed that yes, since this new administration took office, the AG has made a determination that the Constitution is not clear in that regard, and as a result, they stop processing the grandparent. And my thing is, I laugh to myself. I said, if this thing wasn't so serious, it would be laughable. Because we heard the Prime Minister on several media outlets and at his round table saying that he have ordered the AG to tighten up the SSZ. He don't intend to repeal the SSZ Act. He wants it to be tightened up to accommodate these foreigners who don't have any ties to St. Kitts and Nevis. But our Constitution that give us the right to citizen by descent, instead of the Prime Minister order the AG to tighten it up to ensure that our citizens continue enjoy the opportunity to become citizens to their grandparent, they just decide, no, we're not going to process that anymore. So my good people, the ball is in your court. The DJ is fighting, but the DJ cannot do it by himself. Is 11 of them in Parliament. Is 50-something plus thousand of you all, 40 plus thousands electoral persons at the moment. We need to make that change. And with that, for those of you who are not paying attention to the message, but paying attention to the DJ, again, I am asking you to pay attention to the message. Ignore the DJ. Whatever qualms you have with the DJ, this is not about the DJ. This is about St. Kitts Nevis. You understand? If St. Kitts Nevis have 99 problems, the DJ is not one of them. So let's take a quick listen to my icon there, the man, Dr. Garfield Alexander, his prophecy that going to be successful.
DJ Marisha, I don't want you guys to take your eyes off him. Remember, he's been around for some time. Let's go back to COVID and lockdowns. The gentleman came in, was locked down in quarantine, and then realized the total hypocrisy, tyranny, and oppression of the then administration during our most horriblest time. Spoke out. Not only spoke out, became an activist. And then you know what he did? Organize and centralize. And he never stopped organizing and centralizing until Timothy was gone. I don't even want to talk about the involvement he had before and the Douglas administration and the Harris. We ain't gonna talk about that. I'm just talking that during COVID, that man, both on this front, locally, and in the US, waged war against tyranny and oppression. One simple man. A DJ, as he calls himself. He never called himself an engineer or anything else. Just a DJ. Because he understands the power of voice. And not just voice. Autonomous, independent, honest, transparent voice. Always wins in the end. So it could be persons with unlimited power and unlimited money. He somehow always becomes the David against the Goliaths. Be careful with him. Be kind to him. Watch him. Because trust me, he's going to triumph in the end. Again.
Yes, my good people. As the icon Dr. Alexander said, the struggle was real back in 2021-22. And we gave this Dr. Juliet Labor administration an opportunity, and they have just screwed it up. They're selling the country down the drain. But I too have to give some credit to the former Prime Minister, Dr. Harris, for acknowledging the mistake he made when he did not take the advice of the DJ, and has pledged, given them an opportunity, a second chance, he will definitely make those corrections. So let's take a listen to Dr. Harris.
In our audience today is DJ Marisha. I want you to give him a hand of welcome because PLP welcomes all. DJ would tell you that he has had some harsh words for me, but I never take that on. I listened. I accept his criticism, shook his hand several times, and I vow that I will do better. I want to thank him, though, for standing on principle. He, like several others, were fooled by Dr. Joe. They have come now to see him as the vindictive, selfish, arrogant, insecure leader that he had always been. So I say welcome to you, my brother and friend. We will not always agree, but I will always admire a man who put his country first. You will always stand tall in my books.
Yes, my good people. So I have to give Dr. Harris some credit for acknowledging his shortcomings and has promised to improve. But though I was really hoping to be here for a very short period, as I continue to reflect on where we are as a people, I go with the Spirit. The Almighty God lead me down a particular road when I'm on this podcast. And it tells me to remind our people where we are coming from. So there's a track here by my boy, Louis Ibel Jr., who resides there in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. This track was arranged and backed up by the Spectrum Band, the legend himself, Brother Malvern Gums. So let's take a listen to this one. Still in the back of the bus mentally.
Upon a bus as she stayed her claim. At a time when racial injustice reigned, what transpired? You think she was insane? Rosa Parks took a stand like a man against another man, who told her move to the back of the bus. No, I was here first. And Rosa Parks said I paid the same amount as you. So if fear is fear and fear is fear, then I can sit here too. Now in present time, her freedom star spike has turned to pine. When we poison black people's thinking, we got freedom but we destroy lives. Double standards, same words, no rhyme. We rather just push and shove, teach hate, not love. Why not give back our freedom, brother? We are still in the back. We're still in the back. We're still in the back at the bus. America, Spanish have Spain, Orientals in Asia. I think you know what I'm saying. Now some black people of the Caribbean want no part of Africa. If you tell them come and let me go back home, they say And today's youths don't understand. We all have to take a stand, cause with the influence of different cultures, we turn to criminals and money vultures. And music reflects this crime with distasteful and filthy rhymes, influencing young people's thinking. Hip-hop, rap and dance hall makes without mother ball. And only guns we know in black movie show. We don't corrupt our kids with love no more. We're still in the back. We're still in the back. We're still in the back at the bus. So beware who invite you. You might be taking a chance. They built a beautiful mall and a pretty market. Well, tell me which one black people going get. Did you know Ku Klux Klan make millions from those pretty car fragrance crowns? And went on national TV and told us thanks black people you don't. Took her turn to say her clothes were not intended to be worn by us. And Timberland shoes making millions can use from black people who they abuse. Now just to make a dime, it seems we've lost our flipping mind. Selling drugs to people we should hug. And standing in the A-line, a man use his last 2 dimes to get on boardwalk. The RC open chances pass them by. That's why Miss Rosa Star don't shine. We're still in the back. We're still in the back. We're still in the back at the bus. Ourselves from black race. We're in front in homicides. We're in front in assaults. We're in front in race genocide, raping kids and adults. We're in front in the race to have the most people locked up in jail. And we're leading the pack to have the least to come out or on bail. You don't think the system wins every time a black person fails. Take a closer look, cause by hook or by crook they find the money to build us more jails. Now I hope you see that it's time for us to get off our black behinds and do something to change young people's thinking. Give them knowledge, wisdom and pride before thoughts of destruction control their minds. Forget the guns and the drugs and the money, give them love. For God's sake, let's all help somehow, or we'll be still in the back. We'll be still in the back. We'll be still in the back at the bus. We'll be still in the back. We'll be still in
Yes, my good people, mentally in the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, we are still in the back of the bus, and you better wake up soon because, my good people, we are running out of time. They are coming. As a matter of fact, they're already here. They are not coming. They are already here. And if we don't stop them now, you'll find out the DJ will be the least of your problem to worry about. So, as a matter of fact, let me take a quick run across to St. Thomas here and big up my boy there, brother Malvin Gums of the Spectrum Band, and hear what he have to say about the DJ.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha, playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that?
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Keep it locked right there, my good.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marisha's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and a candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marisha. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marisha, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marisha. Log on.
Yes, my good people, you heard it right. We are here each and every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. And my good folks, just before we get to the wrap up, I just want to say big up, respect to the staff there, Island Purified Water, the best water people, Main Street, Newton Ground, St. Kitts. I want to big up my partner there, the man, Brother Powell, the man Scatter, for keeping the DJ hydrated whenever he is in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And my good people, this special broadcast this morning comes to you, kind compliments of Prime Minister Joe dropping this bombshell.
So St. Kitts and Nevis has negotiated and entered into a memorandum of understanding with the United States of America for the potential transfer of certain third country nationals. And I want us to listen carefully, who are citizens or nationals of the Caribbean community. This does not involve anybody outside of CARICOM. And this is in keeping with our CARICOM principle. And I will further say that because of security matters, it does not include Haiti at this particular time. It does not involve anybody from any other place outside of the CARICOM region. Under the arrangement, the United States may propose transfers of CARICOM nationals. This is what St. Kitts and Nevis has negotiated, without violent or sexual criminal backgrounds. The MOU contemplates jointly develop operational procedures, including capacity-based limits and logistical arrangements. So in St. Kitts and Nevis's negotiations, through our proactive diplomacy, this only contemplates CARICOM citizens. At this time, for security reasons, excluding Haiti. These CARICOM nationals, they are without violent or sexual criminal backgrounds. I think there might be different discussions with other jurisdictions, but in St. Kitts and Nevis, the CARICOM nationals, excluding Haiti at this time for obvious security matters. And thirdly, these persons cannot be violent or sexual criminals, and it has to be agreed to between our partner, the United States of America, and St. Kitts and Nevis. We are a CARICOM country, CARICOM citizens can come to St. Kitts and Nevis. And all CARICOM countries, I think, have agreed to receive their people. So it means, therefore, that this arrangement of, I would call, collaboration really is a scenario that is in keeping with our CARICOM principles.
Yes, my good people. These negotiations has been ongoing for a while. And the end result is that they sell out our country to save their ass. But we, the people, must ensure that this matter does not get implemented. Until such time, my good people, I'm going to ask the question that the King I have asked several times. Would you stand by and see your country dying and never lend a helping hand? My answer to that is no.
Your country dying and never lend a helping hand. Would you see your children's future dwindling, creating much disillusion? Or would we watch on idly, disregarding our self-sufficiency? Building a brand new nation, we'll move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Building a wall so massive or a bridge, don't care how small, as one tends to divide our people, the other unite us all. Unambitious men just cannot be a part of this community. Selfishness, a total lack of interest. No, I said no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. citizens, arise, the country is yours, all yours, still yours. Can your conscience be clear? Indulging corruption or misusing public office, being accused of unemployment and crimes, or disrupting a citizen's peace. Oh, my country in this harmony, separated politically. Hatred for a brother cannot love each other. No, I say no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. So rise, citizens, arise, the country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, my good people, this country is yours, all yours. For your citizens, resident, national, at locally here in St. Kitts Nevis, regional and international, I just want to leave you with one straight message. The country is yours. This corrupt government, these bad actors are trying to ensure a win at the next polling date. They neither don't have the support of the locals, national, resident voters, whether home here in St. Kitts Nevis, regionally, or internationally. They are talking about testing of national ID in February of this year. My good people, please pay attention. They are going to try to introduce this national ID as a form of voters' ID. These refugees that they intend to accept into this country will be given these national ID to guarantee a win for those corrupt actors during the next election. Please, people, I am calling on all opposition parties or organizations alike, writing on Facebook, making comments on social media is not enough. We must come together to save our beloved St. Kitts Nevis from these bad actors. They will stop at nothing to hold on to power and continue their greed. Again, I am appealing to all nationals, resident, citizens of St. Kitts Nevis, locally here in St. Kitts Nevis, regionally and internationally in the diaspora. If you have never listened to the DJ in the past, if you hate the DJ, St. Kitts Nevis have 99 problems. The DJ is not one of them. We must come together and save our federation from these corrupt actors. And I say it with no water in my mouth.